Let's pull up the questions, and the people will know in a second that we are live in color. All right. The first question, should I name or not name?
That is a very good question. You can
That was a
name.
busy spell.
It doesn't matter.
Cool. So I really wanted to get a sweatshirt because it's raining. How awesome is that? So Nima asks, I'm conscious of not burning out before I've hit my stride. Okay, let's address that first, and then we'll go into the next piece. I highly recommend being able to kind of determine what it is that you think is a high priority task and what is not. It's not so urgent, but it is important. So high priority tasks would be urgent and important. Not so urgent projects would be not urgent, and they would also be important, but like I gotta get this done before I worry about that. Let's check the chat too. Oh, Cindy says, "Hi everyone. It doesn't matter. What's wrong?" All right. So Nima, the second part of your question says, were you guys all there when I demonstrated my 10K blueprint, for lack of a better way to put it? Were you all there so you all understand how I use the Eisenhower matrix to determine what is important for me and what isn't important? Please put a yes in the chat so we don't Nima's like thumbs up.
Yes, we were there.
Who said that? Maria?
Yes, it was me, boo. Yes, it was me. Yes.
Okay, so everybody understands how we use the Eisenhower matrix to be able to prioritize tasks. That, as well as taking regular breaks, like between every huge milestone, between every huge thing that you have going on in your blueprint, you want to make sure that you schedule in like a 10-minute break. I call it 10 minutes touch grass, meaning go outside, get yelled at by my dogs, and then if they're not in daycare, and then come back inside. And then one of them is too small. Her paws are too small for her to climb the stairs, so she can't follow me. But her brother can, and all he does is sleep. So we're fine in that department. Faith says, I wasn't there. Is Faith the only one that wasn't there? Grab the mic, or else I won't show. If everybody's already seen it, I'll just find our recording and send it to you guys. Is that better? Oh, wow. So how was I going to find out? Don't worry. I'll send you guys the recording. Let's follow with the next question by Nima. So she says, well, I'm eager to catch up and attend all the sessions. It's not always feasible with my schedule. Could you guide people like me who suffer from FOMO, or maybe it's just me, on what's absolutely critical to focus on for where I'm at versus the content I can revisit later without losing momentum? Okay, this is a very detailed question. I'm going to go in. Don't worry, I won't share my screen, Nima, and I'm going to pull up your blueprint and how far you've come, which good job. All right, maybe it is my internet. I don't know. There we go. Nima's blueprint. It's populating, it's loading. All right. So week 1, you did your profile, you did the overview. You also did a proposed case study. Well, more than one, to be quite honest. Rushed it. And then your saved searches, we talked about this. You did it. And I was like, so the metrics of week 1, although you didn't increase your profile views and you don't have like projects that you're like basically beelining for, you still did really, really well. So based on where you're at, let me see if I can see it. Yeah, your proposal tracker, based on where you're at, I would say let's start sending proposals and tracking them, and maybe then once we have the analytics for that, the stats for that, we can move forward. So even if you miss a session, remember guys, you can always DM your stats inside the squad chat, or you can put them in the correct channel. In this case, it would be the actual weeks channel. So for you, it would be week 2, Nima. So you just go in there. Nima's yelling, taking breaks to get yelled at by the pups. Yeah. Corgis are always hungry. So anytime they see me, it means it's time for food. And I'm like, go on a diet. Your vet says that you guys are at risk. So I'm not doing it with you. Exactly. At risk for human diseases. Well, all the sessions may look like they're filled with gems, but that's only because of the quality of questions that you guys ask. Nudge, nudge. So please feel free, even in this chat, to ask questions, because I would like to know what it is that I should focus more on. Let's see. Kaya, is work life a real thing to consider? And I like actually Nima's response to this, which was, in my jaded experience, not really. What I do constantly ask myself is what balls will bounce back if I drop them and which one's a glass. For example, my health and well-being is more glass than rubber, so I can't play around with that too much. That was a very good answer. So I would say, to add on to what Nima says, work-life balance is a fallacy, and I decided to remove it from my copy because I haven't achieved it. It's very elusive. If anyone's seen that unicorn, like, hook me up, because I want to see it too. Work-life balance, it doesn't exist. So you have, instead, what you could do is live your life seasonally. What I mean by that is, in the autumn, I don't want to say the fall, in the autumn time, that is when you want to sow your seeds and like do all the things. I may be wrong. I may be wrong, and you sow your seeds in the summer. I'm not sure. Or the spring. I don't know. But to all the agricultural people in the house, helps us out. But you want to sow your seeds in one season, and then you want to, don't laugh. I don't know what season you sow seeds in. I'm learning, but I'm not that far ahead. So you want to sow seeds in a specific season, and then you know that you have to still take care of the soil, right? And then winter is winter. All you can do is cover the soil, cover the sproutlings, do the best you can, and hope they make it through the winter. The ones who survive in the springtime, it's time for harvest, depending on what kind of seed it is. So if you live your life according to those seasons, where you have a season of sowing seeds, and then a season of taking a break, and then a season of going hard with harvesting so that you can sow seeds as you harvest, and then a season of watering and taking care of the soil once again, and making sure that, like, other, not really pests, I like to call them invasive species, because they eat the same food and it's not fair to label them as pests. So I'm a nature person. You still want to protect your plants against invaders. It's the right thing to do. So you still want to protect your investment, or you want to protect your hardware. You still want to do everything humanly possible to make sure that when it's time to harvest, you're ready. Now, that doesn't mean stopping things that are income generating activities. What that means is stopping things that are maybe more long term than short term. So you want to divide your life according to short term, medium term, long term seasons. And so, for long term work, the success ratio is higher, 2:1. Whereas for short term work, the success ratio is lower, 2:1. So I would say sending proposals, success ratio is 3:1. So you guys have been in the squad for a while. You're starting to see those results in your stats, that the success ratio is 3:1. So it's like, period. You send 3 proposals, you get 3 views, you get at least an interview out of that. That is the 3-3-1 ratio. When you're sending proposals correctly, that is what's supposed to be happening. So Then you have more long-term, or maybe you could call it medium-term because it is algorithmic. And the medium-term thing is being active in the community. Alice, can you tell the people just for being active in the community, how many profile views did you manage for week 1 and week 2? Please unmute. Let's check if YouTube has any questions.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, we're having an issue in Kenya with our power. I don't know what's going on. Just give me a second. Yeah. Now you could be. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. So the first, since I was fully booked, I was not able to send proposals. So I used to go into the community. Most of the time, I don't like going to the client section. So I go to coffee break. So coffee break basically has things that are topics that resonate with the work-life balance, things that are outside freelancing, or maybe stuff like what's your favorite quote. So I used to chat mostly on coffee break. And last week, I can't remember the date, but I had 126 views because I commented on a post where people were against new freelancers and saying that they crowd Upwork market and that they are lowering their prices, and at the same time they're not bringing in value. So they are not experts in what they're doing. So I had to go in and challenge it, which actually gave me 126 views just because, and I'd not commented on anything. So the views lasted, I think, for 1.5 weeks. So this week they dipped because I've not been able to go back in there. So I'm trying to do that tonight.
Righto. And what about the week that you made like over 200 views? I think you were talking to clients about the quality of the projects.
Yes, I was
Or the
talking.
quality of the freelancers or something. Well, how many
Yeah,
views
that's
did you
what.
get? And tell us more about it, girl.
Okay, so then the client section had a client was complaining about the fact that there are so many new newbies. At the same time, that newbies tend to overpromise, but they don't deliver. So I had to go in and just give my thoughts that it just depends if you are willing to give a newbie an opportunity. It's the same thing like when you go to hospital. You're being told this is a new doctor, maybe he's transferred from another hospital. Yes, you've never seen this doctor before, but this doctor has worked in other areas and is an expert. You do not go about making noise. You just go walk into the doctor's office, give your problems, get your consult, do your tests, and you move on. It's the same thing with Upwork freelance. You just need to be able to just be there and just give people the benefit of doubt. Yes, this freelancer is new, but if this freelancer is, from the proposal, you can actually sense and you can see that they know what they're talking about. They know their facts. They know their niche. That's it. That's more than you need. You would rather give it to a newbie who is an expert rather than someone who has stayed on Upwork for 5-10 years and gives you a shoddy job. So that is what I was arguing against, and it got me crazy views just of saying that. So I think the views were basically because I had freelancers backing me up. And also I think now clients started I think the clients are the ones who came in because immediately yesterday when I just sent one proposal, it got viewed in less than 5 minutes. And then when I went to my LinkedIn profile, on my LinkedIn profile, you can actually, because I'm not on the paid version, I could see that I had like 30 people viewed me, but I cannot know who they are. So it's like they come into the community, they check you out, they sort of stalk you, then they go to the other side. They just don't go on Upwork. They go to your social media handles. What are you talking about? What are you posting? So if you're smart enough, I would say keep your social medias clean, or rather have a dummy account to do all your dirty stuff. Just have a, because
Not dirty.
clients stalk freelancers. That is one thing I know. And Bailey is a witness because I find a client who actually stalks me up to date, and Bailey is my witness. So clients do stalk freelancers. It does happen. So if you're good at what you do, these are the things that you get. So just keep on doing you and you're gonna be fine.
Ooh, we got a hand raise. Yes, please.
Hello, hi.
Maria?
Alice, thank you so much for that feedback. It is so encouraging. Like for what you did, like you were literally just being yourself, and you went into these forums, and you basically just said this is what you've experienced, and you gave people a different perspective. And I love what you did, because that's essentially like what I do in terms of personal branding and letting people know, like, let people know who you are and what you're about by giving your views, because people want to know different views. So if you're not out there going and sharing it, no one will actually really know like what your stance is on things. And by you sharing those insights, by you sharing a different perspective, by you challenging people, you are actually getting people to get to know you, have an understanding about how you think, and they'll decide whether or not, like, oh, I like this person and how they think and how they're approaching things and how they actually shared this. I want to know a little bit more. Maybe I can work with them. And that's actually, personal branding is what actually gets people to work with you, not necessarily like your agency or your work itself. It's actually who you are as the individual. And if we think about very big brands like Virgin, I started following Virgin not because of the brand, but because of Sir Richard Branson. If we look at, okay, I'm not really a fan, but they do it really well. The Kardashians, how they did that, and the brands they come up with, that entire family is worth multi-billion dollars. But it started off with us watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I mean, come on, so it's the personal branding aspect where you share a little bit about who you are and what you're about, or how you see things and how you interpret things, and people will get to, it's like you build a community of people, of like-minded individuals, or you get to share the space where people can share their information or share their thoughts on things, and then people just grow from that. And then you're creating a sense of trust of who you are. And when people like you and they trust you, you can sell them sand in the desert, basically. I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
And I actually really like I can really appreciate what you just said, Maria, because what people forget is that the know, like, trust factor is still so incredibly important. But know, like, trust, I gotta tell you, is old school. So instead of trying to establish rapport and do all of that, we're just getting ahead of it by going and posting, by going and being active. And from now on, don't overthink it, just use Neuro. And then if it's something that you feel an emotional attachment towards, okay, then you can go ahead and like put yourself on the line in your opinion. But if they disagree with you, they are not disagreeing with you, they are disagreeing with Neuro, right? And that is what I want you to remind yourself, is that, okay, you're not disagreeing with me. Your views are not diametrically opposed to mine. You have a problem with Neuro, and you should take it up with Neuro. But what you will find is that based on the fact that you guys are using dark marketing, neuromarketing, sales psychology, and all the other stuff, when you answer these questions or queries, or when you participate in the community, what you're going to find is that actually people are going to agree with you, because Neuro doesn't have emotion. Neuro's super logical. So just go in there and increase your profile views. Go into the 3 different forums that I have highlighted for you guys. So I'll hook you up with the video one more again. It might be a one-on-one, actually. We recently talked about the communities again today with Wendy, who is our squad member from China. So Who's eating and tucked in bed? What is going on? All right. Cindy, I hope you're okay. Let's see. What other question did we get? Who's derailing though? That was interesting. Can you stop derailing, guys? Next up. But yeah, Kaya, just to reiterate, there's no such thing as work-life balance. And you guys have to get over the fear of being seen. And I'm saying that from experience. I didn't create, even though I had all the tools and resources to go viral, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I never created content until my sister was like, just, okay, this podcast is your last chance. After this, I'm no longer bothering you. Just record the podcast episode at least and put that out as a video series, and then you can walk away. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'll do it. And that is my most watched video to this day. So if you're shy, this is going to sound harsh, but get over yourself. Trust me, no one cares about you. They care about their problems and they care about who can solve their problems. Engage in the community. And it's harsh advice, but it's something my sister said to me. She was like, oh, then that means you're too full of yourself. You have done something that is very rarely done in this country at your age, and you refuse to share that with anyone else. And I was like, but I'm writing a bit. And she was like, good, then you'll have something to plug at the end. So she's like that. She's very, what people call buhali. She's like really, really strong in her. Bali said, be direct next time. What's going on in this chat? Are you guys having side conversations?
It's a mess, I'm telling you.
Okay, well, y'all better fight somewhere else. Take the fight outside. Don't fight in my house.
It's not a fight. You're just missing the joke.
Oh, all right. Since I have you all here and not everyone posted it in the questions channel, Mpo, what's up? Oh, Kosana says we thank God for your sister. I'll let her know, but I probably will fix it a little bit. I'll be like, everyone in the squad thinks you're great, instead of saying we thank God, because then she'll just be like, you're welcome. And then I'll owe her money. So I'm not doing that. But Mpo, any questions? No questions. Hato, any questions?
No, no questions from me at the moment, but I'm enjoying the discussion very, very much.
Fantastic. But it's all, when you say, oh, there were so many gems that were dropped, it is because of questions. YouTube, any questions for real? It's because of the quality. Like, I can only answer questions when there is questions to answer. Otherwise, we can just hop off right now. I don't know how many minutes this has been, like 25 minutes. Okay, cool. I see a raised hand. Let's do this. Maria?
Right. I'm taking over tonight anyway. So I have a question. So I've been on Upwork, right? And I've updated it, my overview, my profile, everything. Then I go into see, and I've got my save searches. So I'm like, okay, let's look at these jobs. And then I've obviously got an hourly rate. And then I look at these jobs, and then I see the hourly rates are like a fraction of my hourly rate. And I'm like, why? What is this? Like, do I bother like trying to send a proposal if it's way below my rate, in order to like get going? Or do I just use it as a filter on some, no, this is my rate and we're not going lower? Because I think there was a video, I can't remember now if it's from the pay pillars or, because there's so many videos, you're like, when did I see this? Where I saw that you had a rate for a, you were, I think you were screening for a client and they had a certain rate. And then, and then, someone bid back on a slightly higher rate. So I was like, okay, but if my rate is so much higher than their current bid, I don't think it would be a good idea for me to like, submit a proposal. So I wanted to know like what is the best thing? Like if I see their hourly rates are like just literally a fraction of what my rate is it something that I should consider or use that as a filter like next, like Tinder?
Do you know what's crazy?
What?
You're correct with the second question, but actually you're also missing out on an opportunity with the first
Yeah.
question. So Upwork tends to let clients put placeholder prices. I don't know why they do this. It confuses us. We don't know like whether this is a lowball client or like if this is like a legit client, but
Yeah.
they do that. So sometimes you may not know this, but the super lowball is just a placeholder. So your job as the freelancer is to still take that risk. Remember, we're following the blueprint set by Alistair. So what he does, even if the client posted a rate of like $24 or they have a history of hiring freelancers for like $100, he sticks to his rate. And sometimes he's the only one bidding on the project. And because of the little URL slug trick that I showed you guys, you will never overspend in the connects department. The maximum you will spend is 18 connects. And you could even get rid of that part. Be like, the maximum I want to spend is 14 connects. So you can get rid of the 18 and the 16. So it's not even about a matter of connects. It's just your personal risk appetite. And if you want to, here's how we bypass the low ballers for real. You can change the rate that you're filtering by, the hourly, uncheck that, uncheck fixed, and just select intermediate to expert. So just check those two. And then we did this afternoon with Faith. She was like fun. We edited her higher history part. So you see where it says 1 to 9 and then 9 plus hires or something like that. I don't know, 10 plus hires. You can edit that according to what Neuro tells you in some of your blueprints. Neuro says make it 4. Don't start at 1, make it 4. You want a client with a really recent, like a good hire history. So you have the option to find a name. So you can make it 4, you can make it 5. That way they have reviews and you can find their name. And again, we've got the URL slug where you're not overspending on connects, right? So we are like hacking the system. This algorithm is not standing a chance against us. Like we are going in and getting the views. We are going in and getting the high ticket clients that other freelancers are terrified to talk to because they think that it is, I don't know, a low ball client. But if they're looking for intermediate and expert, raise that rate. Do not feel weird about charging what your experience is with. Platform history, that's the other fallacy. If you don't have platform history, you can do what Rebecca does, is all the people who you've worked with in the past who can vouch for you and have LinkedIn profiles, make them write you a testimonial. Like that is the best way for you to add more social proof to your profile, so that even though we're using presuppositions and all of that good stuff in our copy when we send our proposal, even though we're doing that, and don't worry, YouTube, I'm going to upload the video on presuppositions. I couldn't go live for some reason. I don't know why. But in spite of you doing all of that, you're still getting ahead of their objections. Like, well, if you're so experienced, why don't you have any Upwork experience? Don't be stupid. I just left corporate. I mean, duh, I'm on my freelancing journey. If you feel like it's the elephant in the room, you can literally say, I have over 10 years experience in corporate, and now I am loving my new freelancing journey. It doesn't hurt. We've just put in the elephant in the room.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, cool.
Come on, y'all. You're welcome. Come on, guys. Any other questions? Let's check who's next. Faith, any questions?
I do have a question on the chat.
Okay, Cindy, let me check. Oh, do we need to SEO the keyword searches on Upwork? Is setting up the keywords in a simpler way just as effective? Yes. Okay, so that is part of Monday's training that I will share Monday afternoon at 12 noon, I believe it was, yesterday. So why am I saying it like today's Wednesday? But I will share yesterday's 12 noon training where I show you guys the types of searches Neuro created for my blueprint versus what I'm actually going to be using as saved searches. And they're super simplified. We did the same thing with Faith in the afternoon. We took the keywords and we were like, clearly this is wrong. And immediately we started, by the way, Maria, unchecking the part where we mentioned hourly and fixed. Suddenly now it's getting really busy on her feed. And she was like, oh, I love this. And I was like, yeah, girl, 55 seconds ago. And then we went ahead and did more of the URL slug stuff. And we did the 4+ hires instead of the 129, and like just really, really cool stuff. What is the significance of connects? Good question, Faith. So connects are like tokens. I hate to use this analogy, but it's the best one I've got. Think of Upwork as like a casino. Every single time you want to use a slot machine and take a chance, maybe you'll draw 3, or I don't know, guys. Never gambled. But you need a token. You need like a chip to gamble. Connects are your chips. And some games are more high stakes than others. So when we use the URL slug, we stick to the low stakes games, because what happens is that we can use the PSS framework even better. Remember, the framework says you are supposed to be sending a specific number of proposals per week, and each one of you have that number. It could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 5, right? Yes, you're doing that. You're betting. Exactly. That is essentially what sending a proposal has become now. A little ghetto, but before that, there was Upwork had a spam problem. Although they still do. That's a story for another day. But Upwork is, and there's a video coming up on YouTube about how Upwork is pay to play. So what do? You guys are getting by just fine. You've got your free connects every month. You're in the squad, so you get free connects. You got your Neuro to make sure that you're constantly sending the most optimized, highly centered around getting views and interviews.
Ukola.
Period.
Fanye, uko na laptop nyingine uingie online. Ule coach wangu ule wa nini?
What she said.
Ako live kwa YouTube. Nimekutumia.
Period.
Umsikize.
That is Swahili there.
I know it is. Isn't it cool? Isn't it the coolest language ever?
I love it.
Period. It is.
She said, get me my laptop. Go on YouTube. Okay, I think that's as much as I understood, if I even understood at all. Okay. So I got interrupted. I was like, oh. Una laptop? Okay. Let me just mute her mic for her so that there we go. Pope, I will answer you and you won't like it. I'm kidding. She says, why are you listening in on Alice's conversation? First of all, she talked first. It's out of respect that you have to listen to whoever's talking to you. Thank you for that question, Cindy. Let's see if there's another question after that. Are you going to share on the chat bot? Oh, that was Faith. What do you mean by that? Cindy, can you give me more context in the chat?
No, I meant the SEO thing, the SEO video. Are you going to share it on the chat box, or are you going to
It's
email?
already in your paid pillars, but I'm going to share it inside our squad chat. I can do that.
Okay.
I can just tag you all inside the training videos channel, so I can do that for sure.
Okay.
That hinges on Zola reminding me. Everybody just yell at Zola quickly. I'm kidding. Who's next? Let's see. Zola, actually, do you have any questions? Zola, you're an OG of the squad, and you're starting to freaking crush it. I'm sorry, I had to censor myself. You're starting to do really well on the platform. What is the secret?
Evening, guys. Sorry, my phone just rang. Yes, I'm an OG, undercover OG. My secret is actually I've identified what time my clients are playing. I think I've really identified that because I don't just send anytime, anywho, anyhow, because I'll be wasting a lot of clicks. So I know they play in the morning, so that's where I'm playing now. And actually, I'm actually talking to one client that actually recognized that I was worth more than what they offered. And they asked me, am I okay with it? And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice to be recognized because clients just want. They don't really care about
Yeah,
freelancers. So to be
that
recognized like
means
that's like, oh, okay, I'm doing something right. So
that means you touch them with your neuromarketing. Like you
yeah,
really dialed into their buyer type and you were like, Neuro, I'm gonna need you to tell me what's going on with this person. So it's already working. I love it.
I love it for myself. Thank you so much,
But
guys. Thank you so much.
exactly what Zola said. You're welcome. Um, basically exactly that. We were looking at Fate's feed, and I said to her, "Okay, from you, it's 1 p.m." And she was like, "Why 1 p.m.?" And I was just like, "No problem, Nima. No problem. We will make sure we share as much as we can." So Faith, as you can see, is here in the call, and she was like, "Why do you keep saying 1 p.m.?" And I was like, "Because look at the stats 55 seconds ago, 2 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. If you were in proposal sending mode, you would so land these clients because paired with your timing and neuro, they don't stand a chance. Like the competition does not exist." So there is method to the madness. And I love that Zola, although it did take you a while, because Umpa figured it out. Tato figured it out on his first one-on-one. That blew my mind because I didn't even mention it. But in your own time, own pace, own race, you figured it out that, oh, my clients are mostly active in the morning. I can sleep at night first and foremost. I can be a night owl and do, well, not a night owl, but you'll have to be an early bird, right? So that you can see your clients and meet them exactly where they are and be in the best mood. And they're like, it's late at night, but she's so excited. Okay, what do you have to say? So that is just the coolest thing. It's making sense. Alice, yes, I said night owl. Girl, you had your mic on. I'm not bringing that up. All right, let's see. Yes, Zola, what's up?
Yes, Bailey, thanks a lot, man. I just wanted to add this quickly because you spoke about Paul and them figuring it earlier on. And I thought I should share this. Maybe it's gonna help the new guys. I wasted a lot of time worried about imposter syndrome, this and that. So I just want to tell them that just kick that thing out the window. It's gonna waste a lot of your time. Just don't do it. Learn from me. Just don't do it. Just stick to the script and run with it. Because I wasted a lot of time thinking about should I send? I remember I had written one proposal. I didn't send for the whole week. In time, I had Connect, I had everything, I had Neuro, but I was just scared out of my boots. And it wasted a lot of my time. So I thought I'd just share that to the new guys that are going through that. Maybe they're not out, but maybe they're going through that. Just it's gonna waste a lot of time. It's just gonna be January just now. So I thought I should share that. Thanks, Bailey.
Mm. Cindy shared something I think is interesting. The social media guys probably picked that up quicker. You mean the timing?
Yes, Bailey, because that's how it works in the social media space. It matters when you post, like on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
What does Rebecca say? Slay. Like I'm trying to do her voice. Slay. Exactly. Though it does matter what time you post. So thank you for that. That was really good. Let's see who else do I have on the list that won't pick up. Fungi. Any questions regarding what's going on with you? Because girl, you have your weeks that you just life happens and you have to take time off. But you guys, this girl right here, Bungie, when she goes, I'm just like, wait a minute, that's 2 weeks worth of, okay, go ahead, girl. I'm not stopping you. So like, she is very interesting to me. I've never had anyone in the squad who's like Bungie. So I was like, Bungie, can you tell us about like, how do you do it? Like, you go from 0 to 60 really quickly. And then obviously you have no choice but to mom duties. And then it's back again to 0. And then it's 60. And it's a crazy progression. And I've never seen it before. And I always mention this, and you always come in and you're like, I feel so behind. And the FOMO. And I'm just like, watch her. She's going to be so far ahead in no time. So how do you do that?
I don't know. I really don't know how I do it, but I just follow
Can you
your
give us some
videos and
tips? Give us some tips.
I follow everything you say. I take notes and then I go back and rewatch and do what everything that you say, everything that I've missed, I note it down and then I try and do it again on my own. So that's what I do.
I can't believe that's your answer.
So Bongi is the A student.
She's the A
No,
student and she doesn't want you guys to pass with her. She wants to go
no.
Bongi,
overseas
don't
by
be like that.
herself.
We see you.
Don't be like that, Bongi.
Mhm. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, pressure.
We don't blame you.
You guys, I don't even know what she's talking about. I just do, and then she just come back and tell me, which are you are moving. But I don't know.
Okay, so what do you do? This is killing me. Okay, which like training videos do you watch? Like, what do you do? Tell us.
I go on your YouTube, and then I go on the paid pillars, and also my one-on-one videos with you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
what you basically do is revision. Every single time
Yes.
I could see it. I could see it because every single time we've had a one-on-one, you ask for your recordings and then you study. Yeah, I can see what Zola means by A student. Definitely. Thank you for that, Bongi. You guys kind of see that even if you're not currently upskilling, your one-on-one sessions are custom made for you, so you can even use those. The group sessions are a lot of where the gems are, so you can use those. The YouTube, I never thought about using that as a resource, but YouTube, you're getting good stuff apparently, according to Bongi. So thank you for that, Bongi. Like, I didn't think the free content actually helped, but I mean, I wouldn't release it if it didn't, but I didn't think it helped that much, but I guess it does, which I'm really happy about now. Lebohan, what's tea, girl? What's happening?